Live from Cabot, Arkansas. This is Ramsey Coach with Coach Steve Money. I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and if you've got money problems or you just want to make sure you're on the right track, you can schedule a free, no strings attached, financial consultation / assessment at calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That link is also on the right side of my YouTube banner, as you can see there. You can email me about coaching or anything else on my YouTube channel, like Oak Island, like computer stuff, like video games, anything that's on your mind. CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. Channel donations can go to paypal.me/Coach Steve Money. And you can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money. And of course, this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Whoops. Almost deleted the mic there. Speaking of mic, make sure the sound is going. Make sure the sound is going, I said. Make sure the sound is going, I said. It is, okay. And that's how much of a delay we're doing. And if you see me looking this way, that means I'm looking to see if anybody is chatting, so I can respond to them. I only announced to a few people that I'm doing this, so I don't know if they will show up. It would be great if they did, though, obviously. Let's see. So we're all good. So how about we get started? I guess I better close Discord. Whoops. Oh, also, while I'm on my page, if you scroll down to the music playlist, you will see my Ramsey-centric songs, including the Baby Step song, which we'll talk about the Baby Steps in just a second. We've got the Baby Step song, got the John Deloney song, we got me reacting to John Deloney's reaction to the John Deloney song, and of course the Rachel Cruz song. And I guess that's why we all watch Rachel Cruz. See, not only Dua Lipa and who else did? Britney Spears can rip off the Elton John, so can I. And also we have 341 episodes of the Ramsey Show After Show. Last one in August 16th. And the next one will be on Monday, which is the 19th. Also, there will be another one July 4th. Can't do them every day anymore. Can rarely do them, but when I have the day off, I will be doing those right after the Ramsey Show ends. All right, so before we get into the questions on Reddit, how about we check out the market? And we have the S&P, the highest close in 14 months. NASDAQ, not the highest. It has been in 14 months. So let's look at the 5-year for the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has some doing to get back up there. But let's see, the NASDAQ in the past month, 11.66%. S&P in the last month, 7.69%. So, and that's pretty good for a month, seeing as we want to make a 10% a year. Average 10% a year, as the market has done throughout its lifetime. What else did I want to talk about on here? I don't think anything else on there. Microsoft is at an all-time high. As you can see, that one was the previous one right there. And look, it touched the sky right there. And Microsoft stock at an all-time high. Let's see what the after hours looks like. It's simmered down after a little bit after close there. And so not quite as much up, but still should be pretty good for tomorrow. Also, one news story from CNN Business. New report flashes a warning light over 401k account balances. And basically the gist is the average balance in employer-sponsored savings plans last year was 112k, and that is 112.5k. And that is well below the 141.5k recorded in 2021, just the year before. So like almost a $29,000 drop in 1 year as to what's in the average 401k plan. So need to get hustling. Alrighty. So this is what Ramsey's advice is all about here. We have the baby steps. We have baby steps 1, 2, and 3. You do in order separately. So you do them one at a time. And that's save $1,000 for starter emergency fund. Baby step 2 is pay off all debt except the house using the debt snowball. And that is smallest to largest. And normally we do get a question on that, but basically the opposite of that would be the debt avalanche, where you would pay the highest interest first. And the problem with that is the highest interest is often the highest amount total. And so that takes a long time to pay off, and you don't get any results. If you pay off the smallest debt first, you get faster results quicker, and that's more motivation, and that motivates you to pay off debt quicker. And so you actually do pay it all off quicker when you do it that way. Baby step 3 is save 3 to 6 months of your personal expenses, and you can decide anywhere in the 3 to 6 month range. It can be 3.5, it can be 5.4, whatever number you want, and that's times your personal expenses. So nobody knows what your emergency fund should be without knowing what your expenses are. So you would know best on that. And that's, again, fully funded emergency fund. And that would be take care of baby step 3. Baby step 3B, not on here, but that's save for a down payment for a house if you don't have one. If you already have one, you don't have to sell it necessarily, unless it's untenable to keep it. If so, you would just keep paying the mortgage while you do these steps, but you don't pay extra on the mortgage until baby step 6 if you have not completed all these other steps. All right, so baby step 4, invest 15% of your household income in retirement. That's gross household income. And so you do not invest more than that until the house is paid off early. After the house is paid off early, you're in baby step 7, build wealth and give a lot of it away, and then you can invest as much as you want. Baby step 5, only if you have children, and only if you decide to help them with college, do you do step 5. Otherwise, you can just skip it and do the pay off the home early. And again, like I said, baby step 7, build wealth and give. Also missing from here is baby step 0, which includes the 4 walls. That is transportation, clothing, food, and shelter. And my pal Sid likes to throw in not cable, but that may be how you get your internet, but internet, because everything's done on the internet these days. So she likes to throw that in there, and I don't have a problem with that. So that is part of baby step 0, getting those 4 walls taken care of. Also, getting insurances in place. Also deciding debt is not going to be an option anymore. You just take that right on off the table, and the flowers are still standing. And let's see, baby step 0, there is 1 or 2 other things I'm blanking on at the moment that is involved with that. Alrighty, and so we'll come back when we come to a question that has something to do with that. Let me hit new again, just in case there's a newer post. No, there's not. Okay, so this is from Arctic Blue 1. So I went on the Dave Ramsey show today. This is a mainly inventing post. I have a too long didn't read at the bottom. I reached out to Dave's team with a financial question about paying off the home, $45K left on the mortgage, or paying off student debts, $45K also first. My fear was an upcoming recession. Oh, I remember this guy. I heard this guy. Okay, well, yeah, first of all, I didn't hear all of his question. I didn't hear everything Dave told him, but upcoming recession, Germany. He said Germany just declared a recession. And I did hear this part. Dave was like, well, you don't declare a recession. It's based on facts. You don't just decide that it's one. But although the current administration here in America tried to redefine what recession is, and recession has always been 2 quarters in a row of declining gross domestic product. And we were in one a while back, like a year ago. But they tried to redefine it, and you still get some people that use the new definition of it. Okay, but anyway, this person, let's see, fear is an upcoming recession. Now, fear of anything, like losing your job and so forth, you can pause the baby steps if you think you might lose your job, if there is a more than 51% chance, or more than 50. So 51% chance it has to be. It can't just be general worry or you watching the news too much. Can't be that. It's got to be actual problem happening there where you would have to pause the baby steps and just pile up cash to weather the storm. Okay, anyway, if we pay the home off, we own the home aside from property taxes, insurance, and general maintenance. If a recession hits, we have a place to live, okay? The student loans, on the other hand, are crazy right now. Republican congressmen, let's see, where are we at? Passed a bill trying to retroactively collect interest through the freeze. Biden vetoed the bill. Debt on arrival. The Supreme Court is likely not to forgive the 10K. Okay. Germany formally announced a recession. Doesn't affect you. I think Dave said something like that. What it doesn't affect? Yeah. It's the 4th largest economy in the world. When I mentioned this, Dave stated, what happens over there doesn't affect it. It doesn't. Doesn't. I didn't even get to drive my question home. We got caught in that it was bad for me to hold on to 45K in a high yield savings account and accrue interest, right? Because you are trying to fill a bucket that has a hole in it. When you do that, when you try to, that's debt leverage basically. You're keeping debt around and not paying it off and trying to earn interest on that. So any interest you are making, gaining 4%, you have to subtract the interest your house is costing you. So, and people always forget to do that. They just say, oh, I'm going to make 4% on that. So, yeah. They want to tell me on air that I should go outside, get off social media, and stop taking financial advice from TikTok. He probably said tic-tac. So I was looking forward to this meeting all day. It wasn't a meeting. He called in. Been a long time Dave fan. And I was on baby step 7 until I got married last year. Since we've been married, paid off almost $35K in debt. Great. But we never made it that far in the conversation. Our merger is really disappointed. He preaches biblical principle and was such a condescending person on air. Vent over, okay? Too long. As Dave didn't read, asked Dave about holding student loan balance and high yield student account until payments unfreeze. Shocker, Dave has always said pay them off. He's never said do that. He said pay them off. Dave told him to go outside and stop taking financial advice from Twitter. Right, which you shouldn't do. And so, I mean, you can take his advice or not, but I don't know what the problem is. He told you you're concerned about things you didn't need to be concerned with because it doesn't affect you. Germany's recession has nothing to do with the United States. Promise. Alrighty. 157 comments. Fun times. Not wading into those. Alrighty. Baby step 6 flare from horror personality 35. A new car. Oopsie. Was the oopsie that you bought the new car before you're a millionaire? Is that it? Had $1 million net worth? Dave's rule is no new cars until you are a millionaire net worth. Just here to share our experience and maybe help someone not make the same mistake. Cool. We worked baby steps and became debt-free and lived the Dave Ramsey lifestyle for years. In 2021, my spouse got a really well-paying job. Our household income was up to $300K. We were baby step 6, no debt besides the mortgage, which we had put 20% down on, and had a 6-month emergency fund. Life was good. And let me guess, you didn't pay extra on the house and pay it off. Let me guess. Lifestyle creep. Let me guess. There we go. After making the sacrifice of having one older paid off vehicle for 5+ years to get debt free to begin with, we decided to splurge and bought a brand new $80,000 truck October 21st. Boop, 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 you can get a small house for that in the Midwest. Some places. We justified it, right? Here we go. We're pulling into justification station. Weep, weep. All aboard. We justified it by saying we financed it at 0%. We made extra payments often. It was less than Dave's rule of 50% of our income being in wheels, and we considered it our entertainment. Fast forward to May 2023, and said spouse loses said high-paying job. Boop, 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 boop. It's not a replaceable position and was a golden goose opportunity. I guess that's why it didn't last forever, and you didn't behave like it could go away. Which you should act like that every day. That's why you follow the baby steps. And not buy new cars. One guess, the first thing we listed for sale. Yep. We'd gotten the balance down to $58,500. Okay, sold it for $65,500, and that's really good. Okay, $7,000 equity is what we were left with after paying off. Right, $21,500. So the balance was, I see, them paying off that over time on with the car payments and the extra they put to it. Taking a hit like that while unemployed sucks. We could have had a nice paid off second car with all that cash. Yep. Instead, we have to use it to pay down the balance on a second new car note we have. But that's a story for another day. Oh my goodness, being Dave-ish is a slippery slope. Indeed, I feel like I'm living the game of chutes and ladders and just slid back to baby step 1. Yep. Like I said, oops. Ask me anything or roast me, can't hurt worse than the hits our ego, our bank account and net worth have already taken. Edited to add, too long didn't read. We lost over $14K in equity on an 18-month-old brand new 80,000 car. We financed at 0% while making $300K. Now we have one car and no cash to buy another car, and we'll be grateful to see half that income. Don't be like us. Pay cash and upgrade as you have it. Yeah. Fun times. Yep. No new cars unless you are a millionaire, and a millionaire doesn't mean you make $1 million a year, or doesn't even mean you made $1 million total. It means your net worth is $1 million. Let's see. Why low interest rate debt is worth paying off. Okay, this from Brada 4. People often cite paying off low interest rate debt less than 6% is not the best strategy and instead should be leveraged, which right there, if you hear the word leverage, you're not doing Dave Ramsey's advice. So you can do what you want, it's your money, but if the word leverage is involved, you're not doing Dave's advice. To invest the difference or hold the funds in another yield instrument, example, high yield savings account. While I understand the total market return analysis, risk analysis, and emotional comparisons for both sides, I don't see perspective on financial rates on both sides focusing on cash flow. Example, using some of my personal finance, 140K, left on a 2.13 loan, 30K on a car loan, right? Many say you shouldn't pay off these low interest debt is less than the yield of your high rate. But when you're considering that, you have to subtract the amount of interest you're paying on all this crap. So you're going to have what? Yeah, even at 5.25%, this is already 5.13 on this 170,000. So, I mean, I guess you would take the average on that instead, but let's see. Yeah, so you got to subtract that from this. And so you're going to do all that for 1%, 1.5% or something like that. So yeah, I get it. All in all, no matter the interest rate bills, which can be eliminated. An example, debt is a significant burden on cash flow, and that much is certain. Let's see, this is from Dude-Nurse. What would Dave do flare here? Soon to be 150K in debt. Well, that is not what Dave would do. Dave would not yell at you if that was a mortgage that you put 20% down on, or 10% if you're a first-time home buyer and your payment was 25% of your take-home pay. So that would be fine to have a 150K mortgage, but probably, I'm guessing not. Hello, I have a few questions regarding my financial future, but first I will lay out my history. History doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Sorry, doesn't matter. Been accepted to doctoral level nurse and anesthetist, program. Is that right, or is it anesthetist? Now, hopefully they know what it's called. Not like realtors that say realtor, because they don't know what it's called. It's realtor, not realtor. But anyway, yeah. How much should I keep in emergency saving during school? Nothing. It's $1,000 while you are paying off your debt, and it's not to incur more debt. So, I mean, what would Dave do? None of what you're doing. None of it. None of it. You're doing it wrong. All right, what would Dave do flare again from Wardam 2029? Need advice in terms of how much to put in a month towards investment and student loans. No investment. Student loans means you're in baby step 2, and oh, look what I see. Far away is baby step 4, where you start investing. First, you have to pay off all the debt, and you have to save 3 to 6 months of your expenses in a fully funded emergency fund, and then you can invest 15%. Until then, no. Again, the flare is what would Dave do. It's not what Reddit commenters would do. It's what Dave would do. And so none of the crap you're doing. Loans, $180,000 in student loans. So that would be every single cent you can to that. On average, about 4.7%. Currently on freeze till August 30th. We'll wait until then to refinance. Income, make about 200K. Well, that's good for, I mean, sort of. I wouldn't have taken out 180K on loans to make that. But anyway, 16,500 monthly expenses include blah, 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 blah. So all of it, nothing goes to investments yet. Pay off all your debt, save full emergency fund, and then you don't have to have a big lump sum. You just start from your very next paycheck after you save your full emergency fund, and you put 15% of your gross household income into that retirement. But only once you are on baby step 4 here. All right, is Dave advice misleading on retirement, Star Voyager, retirement withdrawals? I don't know what retirement is. I think Dave is misleading followers on how much they can substantially withdraw from retirement products. He seems to suggest that you can withdraw the average rate of return and be okay. Yes, you can. Why couldn't you? Because if it makes the average rate of return, the principal never goes down, dummy. For example, if your average return on investment is 10% and you have 1 million, that's 100,000. Yes. And be okay because your investments will regenerate that withdrawal next year. Well, actually, that takes that down to 900 million. So you do get it. It is going to go down a little bit. So you would hope that in order to withdraw 10%, you would hope it's making 12% or something like that. So yeah, so I get it. Okay, so he does have some point there, but it's probably the way Dave is doing it is to keep the math easier, and that's the idea. Is that if you take out every bit that it makes every year, then yes, it's going to shrink slowly over time. Yes. Let's see. If you withdraw 80,000 from a 80,000 from a 1 million nest egg, yeah. To match it, the 8% ROU net of inflation doesn't matter. It only matters what you withdraw. You're only withdrawing 0.8%, and it's making 10% or 8%, and it's making 10%. That's a 2% difference. So you're not withdrawing everything. So anyway, I think this is dangerous advice. No, it's not. No, it's not. Because guess what? A lot of people that if they wouldn't be taking Dave's advice, they wouldn't be doing any retirement at all. They wouldn't be out of debt and be able to have retirement. They wouldn't be out of debt and have a full emergency fund and wouldn't have a paid off house, which makes the amount you need in retirement way less. So maybe you don't even have to take out 80,000 a year. Maybe you could take out 30,000 a year. So, you can throw around all the math that you want and worry about it, everything. See, and just give you an example here and so forth. So, studies have shown that the most sustainable withdrawal rate is 4%. Okay, whatever. I mean, maybe there's been studies that have done it, but I'm just basing it on math and not all the voodoo math here, but and some numbers that you're apparently pulling out of the air. But like I said, if you have a million that makes 100,000 a year, and you only take out 80,000, then the next year it may start to come down just a little bit. The amount is, but the end all goal is to have enough in retirement that it lasts you until your death, not to always 100% keep the principal in there. So That's the dealio on that. But you know, if you wanna argue, you know, about math, go ahead. I think it's a waste of time. If you like a different retirement withdrawals, maybe look at spelling before you worry about all this stuff. But if you are concerned about your retirement, just take out 4% then, dog. Make more money, take out 4%. And it just says that the average is 10%. By the time person A or person B or person C retires, they could have more than 10% average. Let's see. This from Lowbox 5703. Best thing to do with my cash. 60K in checking savings. I'm going to go ahead and guess baby steps. Right now, let's see. I have 100K in a high yield savings account at 5%. 2% in 401k Roth, 30K and 529 for my son. Only debt is the mortgage. So does that mean you should be doing any of this other crap? No, that means that you shouldn't be. It will say 2K a month. Why aren't you putting that on the house? So as you can see, there's no room for a... Why isn't that 100K in paying for the house? See, you put the amount of the interest there, but you don't put the amount of interest you're paying on your mortgage, and you have to subtract that from the amount you're making. So that's 5%. So that's $5,000 you're making a year. So divide that by the monthly. That's not that much. So it doesn't matter what you're afraid of, the market being overbought. The history is that it makes 10% per month, but that doesn't matter because you can follow the steps or not following the steps. You're not following the steps, low box. La Quinta by Wyndham. Oh, traditional rap 5705. So I got an ad for this place in my podcast, June 13th. Hour 3, I'm not sure if it was my podcast app or what. I was pretty sure this is the owners of Trash Timeshare Resorts. Yes, Wyndham does own timeshares, and Dave doesn't decide what commercials go in. He decides what of his commercials go in as part of the video, but as part of what YouTube puts in there, he doesn't decide that. He does get some ad revenue from them, though, I believe. So there you go. I did this one already. Can someone explain to me, like I'm 5, what investing in index funds look like? No, index funds are way to go. Low risk, offer steady return over time. Right now, I have an automatic transfer to Robinhood where I buy VIMVIP ETF every week. And is doing this enough? What else am I supposed to be doing? I feel like it's too easy to be true. You could just do that, or you could take Dave's advice where you do a 4-way split of categories, which is small, mid, large cap, and international managed mutual funds, of which 40% beat the index. Now, if you can't find a better one, or you don't trust yourself to find a better one, or it's too much work to find a better one than the index can make, well then just do an index fund. And you're not, as diversified and such. So probably over time will not make as much as somebody with managed funds that have researched it and chosen good ones. So choice is up to you, but you're already basically doing it. I don't know. I would use Robinhood. I'd use a more well-known broker and not one that I have underwear older than. Where did I hear it? I might have stole that from Dave. Not Yo Cheese. Car question. Baby step 2 flare, and that means cheap car. I am Alex. Hi, it's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I have a 55K. I'm gonna try to sing that one on the after show on Monday. I have 55K mess to clean up. I have a 2020 Kia Optima Kia that I'm in the process of selling. Excellent. I have a 17K left on the lease and a 14.5K offer from a dealer. Is it better to sell it to them? You can probably get more from a private sale. You can buy a cheaper car from private sale. You can get a better offer from private sale as well. Is it better to sell it to them and suffer through the 2.5K difference, or is there another option? Private sale. I'm also trading in my 50-minute work commute for 2 jobs, much more local, while I pay my way through my LPN license practical nurse, I believe is what that stands for. Is that the car question? And we're talking about a 2.5K difference. Like I said, could get more from it, possibly from a private sale instead. Good luck on cleaning that mess up, Alex. ETFs again here, and that's exchange traded funds. This is from Dr. TMK07. Reason signed up with Ramsey, endorsed financial advisor. I put 25K into a 529 for my son, maxed out our Roth, and was advised to put the rest around 200K into a few different, hopefully you have your house paid off, into a few different ETFs for tax reasons instead of mutual funds. ETFs are mutual funds. Index funds are mutual funds. I listened to Dave a long time ago as I was getting out of debt and started up again in January. I haven't really heard Dave talk about ETFs at all this year. What is his current stance? He does not recommend ETFs for retirement. He doesn't recommend any ETFs. Instead of paying off the house, you do 15% of your gross household income into retirement. You take care of kid college if you're going to help with that, if that applies to you. And any extra, I mean, you can go on vacations and, do fun stuff, whatever you budget, but all the extra money should be going to pay off that house. And once you pay off that house, then you can do whatever you want except for put yourself in a lower baby step. Exception would be like if you wanted to move up in house for some reason. If you thought you needed to move up in house, then you would put yourself back into baby step 3B, which is say for a down payment. So fine with that, but like putting yourself back in step 2, no bueno, as our pal Rachel Cruz says. Let's see, 8, 3, and 5. I started listening to Dave in 2003. I can't stand it anymore. It's because of all the other hosts. Well, ruin it for you. Thanks for listening. You are welcome. Entitled to your opinion. Dave likes them to be there, and they won't be alive forever, obviously. He wants to get the show to continue on, and this is part of that. But he likes having the other co-hosts, so you can find a different YouTube channel or watch something different at all. What would Dave do? Flair, Sir Roberto, OH. Do I need a new job or career? Need help? I also 15K ID. That means in debt, maybe. I'm from the north. The north remembers. Yorkshire area of the UK. And I'm the breadwinner for a household. I have a beautiful wife and daughter. Excellent wife is stay-at-home mom who gets UC for her part in making our house a home. I don't know what UC is. Not like an allowance or something? As childcare is too expensive until she is 2. I gross 22K a year in a customer service role that I work in full time. That's low, dog. I think a new job that makes more or a career would be fine. How about a new job that makes more and then you investigate a career? But yeah, that's not very good. And we'll probably have an additional 5 to 6K in income per year. From what? So overall, I'm probably making around 27K, including extra benefits I get for disability. That's including those. But I'm looking to advance my career at basic. Okay. I'm not the career guy, but I would imagine you probably don't have to go too far to find a job that pays more than 22 without bonuses, 27 with bonuses. Probably could find something easier. If not, defect to the United States. We'd be glad to have you, mate. Our fish and chips might not be as good. All right. I think I was going into Australian there. Sorry. DNK, HNK 11. Dave's take employee reimbursable expenses and credit cards. Baby step 5, Flair. Yeah, a lady called today explaining how she was using credit card for travel, meal, etc. expenses needed for her job that were 100% reimbursable. And Dave went big mad. Yes, he did, telling them they were stupid working for a company that made them front the expenses. Yes. Yes. I'm here to tell you in corporate America, and specifically public companies, right? Why don't work at a public company then? That's your choice. It's your choice to work there. This is 100% how they are legally required to operate. Legally required. They could also just pay for it. Dave pays for all of his employees' expenses. So yeah, so you can do whatever. It's your life. You can do what you want to. But I'm not going into debt for my company. I'm not signing on that. And I think I heard this call, and what Dave said was he knows people that company went out of debt. Went out of business while owing employees money. So guess what? Guess what happened? Guess who had to pay that off? Yes, the people, not the company. Why would anyone honestly want to work for Ramsey Solutions Lampo Group? Who's yours? iHawk? Why would anybody bother to, if they didn't like Dave Ramsey, why would anybody bother to comment on the Dave Ramsey subreddit? I don't know. That probably the same reason. Because they want to. That's why. Let's see. Lower than average pay and benefits bonus. You don't know that. You can't trust the internet on that. Can get fired for premarital sex. Let's be honest. This is 2023. We can be honest. And I know the kids today, millennials, even older people love to say they're honest every 2 seconds. To be honest. TBH. Honestly. Have to sign an NDA and non-disparagement. Oh, yeah, okay. Right, yeah. And you do that when you start working there, so you can not do that. People can not do that if they want to. Crazy spousal interview, how do you know it's crazy? And you end up working a cult-like environment. Okay, well, obviously it's not for you. It is for some people there. They have, I think, 2,000 employees or something like that. Can't remember. So it's because they want to. Why not handle your life and let people that want to work there, work there. Why not? Let's see, the supply guy too. Baby step 2 Flair, and the title is Baby step 2. Context, and again, I'll skim through it, but most of the time the background doesn't make any difference. I guess when they call it a radio show, it gives more color to it and makes it just, not question baby steps, question baby steps, that kind of thing. So let's see what happens here. I'm active duty, and baby step 2 doesn't change if you are this, or if this happened to you before, or if this happened to you before. It only matters what's happening now. If you have an emergency now, you pause baby step 2 and you pile up cash until the emergency is over. And then guess what? When you resume the baby steps, you're still in baby step 2, so you apply all the available cash to baby step 2. Okay. Except, of course, for the $1,000 emergency fund. Active duty military, marksmanship instructor on the rifle range. Thanks for your service, obviously. And some wonky but stable hours. I have to be downrange at work at 05:30 to have us stuck at work till at least 3:30 every day for no reason other than to keep us out of trouble. That's a good reason. You're getting paid for it. So I'm effectively working 11, 12-hour days just because, all right? So second job is basically out of the question. 5:30 to 3:30, is that every single day? Is that 7 days a week for that? So I don't know. So, I mean, you could maybe still work 3 hours some days. But anyway. I mean, I know I'm not saying it's not difficult. I'm sure there's lots of difficult days. Very physically taxing as well. Question, what kind of side hustles did everybody work in order to make extra cash during baby step 2? I've detailed cars and made some great money, but that is starting to slow down. Yeah, I just had, I just had a part-time job in addition to full-time job. So, granted, I wasn't at the full-time job for 11 or 12 hours a day, but you know, you figure it out. If you're not there, if you're there 7 days a week, I get it. It's hard, difficult. But if you have 2 days off, you could work on those days off, at least a couple hours a day. What time is it? All right, I'll go about another 15 minutes. Keep it at an hour today. So chicken job basically had a question. My question, oh, I read that one. Dave recommends prenup. Yes, he does in certain situations. Like if you have millions of dollars. Corgi Farm 9 just saw a clip where Dave recommends a prenup for a 30-year-old getting married with a $1 million net worth. Yes. This was surprising to me, consider Dave's principles and morals. I have my own opinions about this, and you can do what you want, of course. But for Dave, it just seems hypocritical. It's not. He always preaches how important marriage is, and he recommends discussing things like thoughts on money, in-laws, and children in advance. Not in advanced, in advance. So why is he recommending the easy way out on this? That's not the easy way out. It's the smart way out. If you have a lot of money, you do that. If you both have like nothing or the same amount of money, then it's not needed. But for that, it is needed, just in case, because you never know the future. You never know. You never know, dog. You could also not get married. It's up to you. Danger Del W. And again with prenup, spouse has to sign it. Spouse knows about it in advance, so what's the problem? Just like the requirements to work at Ramsey Solutions. You know the stuff going in. You don't have to work there. You don't have to sign that stuff. You can just not work there. In this case, you can not get married to the person that wants a prenup. Let's see, how to work the baby steps as a retiree. That is rough. You got to work. You got to bring income in. Got to bring money in. That's how the baby steps work. It requires income. 2021, my dad passed as a result of COVID debacle, leaving my mom with a fixed income about $50K. Hopefully paid off house. Please, a paid off house. A personal, hopefully wasn't trying to make money by having a bunch of money in a high yield savings account and not paying off the house. A personal finance goal in my life has been to financially take care of my parents in their old age. Great. I'm still working my way out of debt, so I'm not anywhere near that goal yet. Trying to help my family set themselves up for financial success. So I'm wondering what the baby steps would look like for a 76-year-old retiree on a fixed income that has no debt, cool, 6 months of savings, cool, no mortgage or college to pay for, and too old to see any real return on investing. What's next? Just living, just being retired. And guess what? You live on that income of $50K. Less if possible. You live on as less as you can. But I don't think she has to work. There's no mortgage of college to pay for. You got 6 months of savings on top of the income of 50K. There's tons of people that don't make 50K now and have to pay for expenses, including a mortgage or rent. So I think she'd be fine without working. Like I said, 76. Too old to see any real return on investing. I mean, that's dark, but that's the case. It's just that income, if that's fixed, if that's continuing until she dies, then just live under 50K. Easy. The Kandorian, all right, 1946. I don't know what Kandorians are. I forget. Are they like one of the other planets, like that was near Krypton or something? I don't remember. Is that where Superman's cousin came from? Supergirl? Was she a Kandorian? Let's see. What would Dave do? Flare. Best thing to do with the 100K. What would Dave do? Flare. 100K. You apply that to whatever baby step you're on. See, the baby steps never go far away in any of these questions. So this basically is the answer to almost everything. Every once in a while, there'll be a question that isn't covered by this. But basically, it all goes back to this. It's very easy. Almost didn't read it. Almost read, just left with the title. I'm in my early 30s and I managed to save $100,000. Shouldn't have done that. Should have been applying it to whatever baby step you're on. Unless you're on 7, we'll see. Have a retirement account with about 50K in it. House is paid off. Excellent. About 20K in brokerage account. No debt except for around $200 credit card bill that I pay off every month. You don't need that. You don't need that. Get rid of the credit card. Pay out the credit card one final time. Cut it up. Cancel it. Anyway, person probably won't do that. So what would Dave do? I love it when they bother to ask, what would Dave do? And put that flare up, because they have to put that flare on it. It doesn't apply itself. So what would Dave do would be to not have a credit card. All right, so that's that part. But anyway, after all my expenses, I'm able to save around $1,500 per month of my take-home pay. What's the best way to invest $100,000 besides buying another house? Should I put my money in my brokerage account? What other options do I have? Yep, keep saving so you can buy a house. You could put that in the brokerage account. That's what Dave does with his money that he's waiting to buy houses with. He puts them in a S&P 500 index fund. And he does, that's the only time he does recommend that. He doesn't recommend it for retirement. He recommends it when you're using the market as a savings account and trying to make money while that money is just sitting there until you use it. But you do have to have a 5-year time period to use the market as a savings account. So you're all good, except you're on baby step 7, except for every time you swipe the card, every time you use the card, you're right back in baby step 2. So, and then when you pay it off, you're, I don't see where there's I guess the part of the 100K could be full emergency fund. But there's no emergency fund either. There's just retirement account, 20K in a brokerage account, which I guess you could pull out at any moment, or with a couple days. You can't pull it out immediately, which is the requirement for an emergency fund. You can put in a high yield savings account, but you do have to have check writing or debit card ability to get that money out immediately if you have an emergency. No 1 to 3 days transfer time period, not for the emergency fund. Emergency fund is not an investment, as our pal Rachel Cruz says. She says, repeat after me, not an investment. Anyway, but how, yeah, so real estate or the market, that's it. Mutual funds or real estate is all Dave recommends for investing. So if you want to be a landlord, do it. Don't do it by default or because, oh, well, I guess I better do that. No, to be a landlord, you need to be all in for that because it is a hassle. I have heard from several real estate people, people that own multiple, including my pal Tommy from the Ramsey Show chat that had 7 rentals at one time, and now I think he has just 1 left, or he might have already sold it, but he's planning to. David reads an episode. You need to plan your exit from this talk. Raising stuff. What am I? Anyone else slowly becoming more turned off by Dave lately? No. Talking over guests as their mid explanation. Well, if the explanation gets rambly, he's gonna jump in. So I don't know. If you're turned off by Dave, you don't have to watch. Definitely go complain about it though. To a Reddit that can't do anything about it. People do like validation though. They like to say, yeah, I was more turned off by him lately too. Alarmed-trust-3152. How much to save outside of 401k? Your full emergency fund, that's it. Until your house is paid off. Until your house is paid off, you can do what you want. My whole life I've been extremely frugal and fiscally conservative. I don't like spending money on anything I can't get a return on. Do this one, maybe one more. Return in. I'm trying so badly to break this and enjoy life, but I'm having trouble determining how much I need to save outside of what I have. I knocked my 401k down from 23% to 18%. It should be 15% if you still have a mortgage. I have 6 months of expenses saved up and quite a bit more. I usually save 18 to 20% more per month. Okay, again, if you have that mortgage, that should be paid off instead of you piling up cash like that. I started listening to Ramsey so I could hear guidelines from a well-respected person on how much is saved is enough, but I can't find this anywhere. That's up to, if you have a paid off house, if you're on baby step 7, that's up to you to decide. I'm not looking to be a multimillionaire, and I think my 401k contribution is more than sufficient, but how much should I be setting aside a month if I already have what he recommends? You could invest a bit more, like you were already, 23 to 18%. He recommends 15% until you pay the house off, and then you can go to the races on investing. Giving some away is good too. Having some fun with some, definitely spend some. This sounds stupid, but it literally makes me sick if I feel like I'm wasting money and I really like someone with more knowledge to give their input so I can feel more at ease spending money on a vacation or going out to eat or buying an old truck to fix up with my dad like I've always wanted. Yeah, would that be wasting money? I don't think any of that would be wasting money. And by having no debt and your full emergency fund that you have, by doing that, you are ahead of the game so much. You deserve to be able to spend some money and enjoy it. This is not me trying to flex. A lot of people will say it is, or anything immature like that. I'm looking for guidance so I can stop stressing about that. Yeah, some people are very, very frugal, and when they get into this person's position, they have hard time turning it on. Let's see the nothing fun besides the gym. Okay, so he's in great shape too. A little bit jelly of this guy or gal. Alarm trust. Let's see if he says about mortgage. Somebody recommended a book. Are you familiar with the 4% safe withdrawal rate? you withdraw what you need to live on in retirement. Let's see. Nope, doesn't say whether he has a paid off house. So that is the thing on this. That is the thing. If he has the paid off house, you can invest whatever you want, save whatever you want. That's fine. But even then, you should be, either way, you should be spending some stuff on, you should be having fun stuff. You can go on vacation while you're still paying off more on the house, if that's the case. All right, let's do one more. What Dave say should I move? Hey, I want to get opinion of high. Oh, I think I did that one before. How come these aren't? If comments every time Dave says to a woman she's a princess warrior, it makes me cringe a little bit. Why would you listen to something that makes you cringe? Why bother? I don't get it. I don't get it. People love to do that. When Howard Stern was at the height of his popularity, more people that hated him listened to his show than people that loved him. And both of them had the same reason when polled. It was to hear what he would say next. So, to me, life is too short to be chasing after something you don't like. So, I do think I did all these. Even though they aren't. How much should ideally be left over each month? There's not an ideally. Nothing, because you have a zero base budget. Even when you're on baby step 7, you have a zero base budget. It tells every dollar where to go ahead of time. And some of that money can go to fun stuff. Some of that money can go to vacations, eating out, etc., etc., etc. So there's not a thing. People always love to compare themselves, especially on stuff where we don't know what they're, from this question, we don't know what the income, there's too many variables. We don't know what the income is. We don't know what their entire expenses are. So we don't know what percentage that $700 left over a month is of their entire world. We don't know if they're doing the baby steps correctly, etc., etc., etc. But baby step 3, so that means they are. So basically, you have left over after we pay all our bills. That doesn't matter because that's all going into baby step 3 until baby step 3 is done. So there you go. What time is it? Alrighty, I'll guess we'll call it a show today. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate it muchly, as I do all the production myself, bringing back this image right there of my plugs. I'm Coach Steve Money, Ramsey Solutions Certified Financial Coach, and you can schedule a free, yes, free financial coach consultation assessment, no strings attached, obviously. Calendly.com/Coach Steve Money. That link is also there, as you can see on the right side of my YouTube banner, and you can just click on that and you can just make that appointment. And it'll let me know when you would like that appointment, and we will make it happen. You can email me about coaching or anything on my YouTube channel. That is CoachSteveMoney@gmail.com. And channel donations, you can go to paypal.me/CoachSteveMoney. You can add me on the gram at Coach Steve Money, and this YouTube channel is youtube.com/Coach Steve Money. Once again, Ramsey show, pre-show chat. Show if I wake up early enough on Monday to put a stream on before the Ramsey show is posted, so that my friends and I can chat in it, and also I'll be answering questions on the Reddit again like this, and the return since last August, the first one since August, of the Ramsey show after show with, of course, Coach Steve Money. Alrighty. Thanks again for watching. Bye.